Hello, it's Chris here. I'm just recording a quick thing for this intro, just to kind of pre-warn you that the audio in this episode is a little bit all over the place. As we explain early in the episode, we were all wearing masks while recording, and there was just like some general audio issues. I don't really understand what was going on, but for some reason everything decided to just sound kind of rough. I've done everything I can to try and clean up the episode and make it sound salvageable. So hopefully it doesn't sound too bad, but just a pre-warning, there are going to be some bits where maybe there's like a crackling or like an echo or something, and yeah, there's not a lot I can do, but I've done my best to try and fix the episode. But anyway, Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Someone got the wrong present? That's awful! Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. I'm Max.
I'm Chris.
I'm Darcy.
I'm Lara.
Special guest episode. Hooray! And it's Christmas.
Woo.
I think. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
This episode 60, the Christmas number.
The Christmas number 60, yeah.
How have we been? It's not been a week quite yet for us, but I feel like a lot's happened.
Yeah, it's been a crazy few days for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been ill. I was starting to get ill. Like when we recorded the last one, I'm over it now, but like, Jesus Christ, that was not a fun time. There's like a cold going around. And I got it. Not bad.
At least it's not the big C.
No, it's not the big C.
Not the other cold.
No, wait. Yeah. It's the little C, I guess. How you guys been?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right?
My dad caught the big C, so
He
we're
did
all
indeed.
distancing in here, wearing masks, so...
Around the same table.
It's like everyone else in the household seems to be like fine and like it's really weird because no one really comes into contact with each other in that house. They just sort of like pass by like ships in the night. So I'm not too worried, but
Yeah, we've all taken multiple tests and we're all right.
yeah.
Feeling good. Feeling
Yeah.
awesome. You guys got like Christmas plans? I feel like I do this every year. I'm like, what are my Christmas plans? And then like, I have to ask someone. And
Well,
it turns out like we're doing like a 3-day thing with like different parts of the family. I don't know.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what I'm meant to be doing. I'm going home tomorrow, and then I'm meant to spend it with my aunt and like my uncles and things, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen now. So it's one of them. Like at the moment, they want to, but they're kind of being quite cautious about it because they kind of don't want to at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any plans anymore.
Your dad ruined them.
Oh.
Big up, Sean.
I'm going to London. Back to London with my mum and my sister.
Oh,
Yeah. should be
lovely.
good.
We all love Christmas. I feel like I like the run up to Christmas, but I don't like spending time with my family.
Yeah, the day sucks. Like the actual
The
Christmas
day
day
is, like,
is pretty terrible.
You just sat there and like
Staring at each other.
trying to like make up fun or something, but it's like you can't go anywhere. It's like, okay, we're all just kind of stuck here
Yeah.
the entire day. What can you do? You just get drunk, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I did last year, because we were in lockdown, so I just like spent the whole day eating chocolate, drinking rum and playing Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, this was
a good
the
Christmas.
Yeah, this was like the first year that I had bought we bought like a family game kind of thing. Like I go to Oliver Bonus and I buy like a game for everyone because it gets really boring when there's only like the 4 of you as well.
Oliver Bonus. Didn't we see one of those when we were in Brighton?
Yeah, it's
was like, what the fuck
cool.
is
It's
that?
really fancy.
I'd never seen one before. It's a funny name, but I was like, okay.
It's got some really cool shit in it though. But yeah, I bought another game for this year because I knew that we were gonna probably spend it on our own again. But at this rate, I'm gonna be going somewhere anyway. But I kind of hope not.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think there's like that gap between New Year and Christmas. I think which is like so depressing.
It is such a slag because it's like it just goes on forever.
We need New Year to like balance it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Afterwards.
And we're not at this rate. We're not going to have New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we probably won't have New Year's, guys. So
No, we won't.
I hope you make most of Christmas because that's kind of it.
I'm just going to be working the whole time, so...
And I won't be, so I'm going to go stark crazy and I'll be bored as fuck.
They have to like learn a new skill within that time frame.
But I think it's like what 7 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a week. You can
Something
do
like
it.
that,
Oh
Learn
my
a
god.
Learn a language in 7 days.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
do like that speed Duolingo. Well, like the
Is
owl
that a
is actually
thing?
with you.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like urging you.
On your shoulder.
Like he's sat next to you. Yeah.
he sings to you when you're sleeping, like in different languages.
It was like that. You guys see that fucking was it that Duolingo video that they posted a while back? It was like this dude dressed as like the big Duolingo owl. He was like chasing these guys.
Oh yeah, I've seen,
No, I haven't seen that.
I've seen loads of
Voiceover was
videos
like, help
like
the
that.
monster is escaping.
There's
They
loads of
posted that.
yeah, there's loads of like the bird like twerking and shit as well. Like there's just so many weird videos.
They've definitely made a brand for themselves.
They're down with the kids.
I like it every so often. I get like a threat from the owl.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
don't forget about me.
Have you forgotten to take your language lessons? Please. Like they get like other members of the Duolingo club to like call in on you. It's like, oh, the owl is not happy with you, mate. Okay.
I just removed the app because it got too much.
It's too stressful.
They're just too
When
invasive.
The Duolingo owl keeps fucking... Yeah. Oh my god.
I did the same because I forgot like 3 days in a row and I was just getting notification after notification. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, the bird is badgering you.
That's the master plan. Yeah, everyone to do like fucking free, but like nobody does it. Nobody's fluent in like other languages.
Yeah, like my mum uses it at the moment, and she goes on it every day because like the little owl thing harasses her. Like you'll send an email like, "Why haven't you done it?" And she'll be like, "I'm going to do it later," and then she'll just get it out and start doing it.
Oh,
Peer pressured by the owl.
It's owl strategy.
Elstrat, yeah. Oh, you know what? We don't like have guests on that often, but like I always forget to ask. Do you have a favourite movie, Lara?
A favourite movie?
A favourite movie?
Oh no.
I feel like that was such a loaded question.
It is a loaded
I feel like I
question.
have to say the right thing here. Oh no. Well, I normally always just say Lost in Translation.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
I've still not seen it. So.
That's the right
You
one.
should watch it. It is really good. It's like growing up. I just always was like, that's my fave. Done.
Nice one. Correct answer.
Thank you.
You stay on.
Correct
You
answer.
stay on for a bit.
What is an incorrect answer?
I don't know, like
Fast 9.
past 9.
Rush Hour 1 to 3.
Yeah. Those ones. That great trilogy. We got Christmas movies to talk about. We got all picked a movie about Christmas or set at Christmas. There's a lot of rules and regulations. What dictates a Christmas movie set at Christmas? Darcy doesn't seem to think so, but
I like to think that Christmas movies should have some sort of Christmas theme in them.
well, sure. You get a Christmas tree there and Christmas.
Yeah, but it just doesn't feel very like I could then just I don't know. You can make any film into a Christmas film in that case. Like you could, I don't know.
I want the bar to be as wide as possible, though. Like, I want it to be like a catch-all. There's so many shit Christmas movies out there.
Yeah, I know. Most of them are like the Christmas themed ones as well.
Yeah.
No Way Home's a Christmas movie.
I suppose it is. Yeah, it was Christmas one time in that movie.
Yeah.
There's like the director. Was the director that does the Christmas movie? Shane Black.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't do Christmas movies though. Like The Nice Guys. It's like the last scene is a Christmas movie. I don't really count that. They're just at like a Mexican bar and there are Christmas lights. I don't know. So we got Brazil. We got what was mine? Carol. We got Love Actually. We got the other one. It's a Wonderful Life. I'm going to talk about them all. Take it away, Chris.
Yeah, so my pick was Terry Gilliam's movie Brazil from 1985. The film is kind of set in like this very weird bureaucratic state. The character called Sam Lowry is working his very monotonous day-to-day life, and he keeps having this recurring daydream, or just dream generally, of him as like a hero saving this damsel in distress. And while investigating a case that basically leads to the wrongful arrest and death of an innocent man. He ends up meeting the girl from his dream and going on a huge adventure, which ends up fighting the machine, technically. What do we all think of Brazil? I think we all have very different opinions on it.
I think so. Yeah. I'd never seen it before. I really wanted to love it because it's like one of those revered sci-fi movies. I don't know. It's very, very much in the vein of 1984. It's very Orwellian. It's so much so that, like, I'm pretty sure Gilliam was wanting to call it 1984 and a half.
Yeah.
Which would have been so shit. And I mean, there's a lot to like about this movie, but, like, I think overall, it didn't click for me because I'd already read 1984. I already knew that story, and, like, that's a fine story. It's very, capitalism, okay, I get it. I don't need another. It took me like a year to read that book. I don't need a 2.5-hour movie to fucking tell me the same exact thing, except it's a comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like it at all, to be honest. Like, I thought for the first half an hour or so it had, like, potential. I was, like, really trying to get into it. I was like, okay, like, I kind of like the story of it, and I was just like, no. For me, I just couldn't wait for it to be over. And every now and again, I'll turn around and go, how much is longer? Because I can't do it. It was, nah.
It is quite long.
It is a no from me, guys.
I quite like Brazil. I had seen it before, and I feel like when you've seen it before, it makes it better. Because there's always because it's so long, there's always a point where halfway through, it's so confusing that you're just like, what, like, am I still watching the same film? What's going on? But when you've kind of watched it the second time, I feel like you're eased into this weird place.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen.
Do you know what I was thinking though? Because obviously me and Max haven't seen it, yeah. So maybe it's just one of those where we just.
But I don't know. Do I want to watch it again?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, this is probably the third or fourth time I've watched it. I definitely do think it gets better with every viewing.
Yeah. I guess I just seen so much of what it was depicting before. And I like Terry Gilliam as a director. I think he has more, like, hits than misses, but, like, with this, I won't even say it's like a miss. So many people love this movie, and I get it. But, I don't know, I've just seen all that it does in other things that I like more. It's very much akin to, like, Pink Floyd's The Wall. I got a lot from that. Like, the oppressive side of it, and the regimes, or, like, the Holy Mountain with what it's sort of going for at a higher level. But I don't know, when it boils down to it, it's just like this amalgamation of other things that I like better. I don't know. And I like how it's put together. I like basically everything that's going on technically. I think the set design is amazing. The acting is really good. There are funny parts to it, but, like, after, like, the halfway mark, I was like, I'm getting kind of bored now.
Yeah, I just wasn't gelling with it, but it's not the fact that the film was bad. I just don't think it was made for me, if that makes sense. Like, if you enjoy it, that makes more sense. Because obviously people like it, so it might just be me. I'm just not the kind of person that's made for.
Yeah, obviously I'm a huge fan of this movie. It is one of my favourite films of all time. But I kind of completely see where you're coming from, Max. There is a lot of stuff that's done in other movies. But I personally just really vibe with the movie. I get a lot out of it.
It's a vibey movie. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
Lots
vibing
of vibes
with it.
coming from this one. Yeah.
I like the blue colour scheme to it. It's very, like, blue and I love the big computers.
Lots of big computers.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it, like, again, I did sort of think that, like, his obsession with the girl and, like, finding her, it's all because of him that, like, she ends up how she ends up, kind of thing. Because, like, part of it I was like, this girl would be fine, like, she's cruising through, and just, like, him coming along and, like, going as crazy as he gets, it ruins her, and I was like, mate, like this is all on you. And
Yeah,
Classic
kind of
men.
just really
Kind of a
pissed me off.
selfish guy.
Yeah, about men, it's about the system. Just leave us alone, man. Just
The
leave
man
us
ruining everything.
Yeah.
the big man, like capitalized. It's about that guy. I love a lot of like all the makeup and shit that people are doing. All like the costumes, I think, are really good. There's like that woman who has like a shoe on her head for a hat.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Like a woman that's like constantly getting her skin stretched out. She looks like fucking what's her face from Doctor Who, Cassandra.
Oh yeah.
All these weird fucking just like weird, kind of creepy, but like looks to process to like within an inch of its life, and it's like this is what you're gonna eat in the year 25. 85, and it's like, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It looks disgusting, nobody eats anything, it's all just like this manufactured thing, which again, is a nice concept, but it's not very original.
Yeah, I love all like the technology throughout, like all like the computer screens and stuff. They've got like this huge like glass like pane in front of it to make the screens look bigger, so the actual screens inside are actually smaller, which I think looks really cool.
When they were at the restaurant, did they need like the menus to open up to a screen?
Yeah, they're like digital menus,
like a
aren't they?
I feel like that's the point of a lot of the technology in the movie. It's very unnecessary.
Yeah, it highlights the fact that like none of it really works. Which is quite funny.
In their super fucking high-tech society that's supposed to be super efficient, like, just everything goes wrong.
Everything's falling apart.
Yeah, like even something is the beginning of the movie.
It's like floppy toast. Yeah.
Oh, that was gross.
That was like the worst part of the movie. Yeah, the floppy toast. Hate that so much.
It was just like moving from side to side. It was horrible.
But it's also like, even like if I would like criticize it for being like a kind of monotonous and a bit plodding, it's like that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get so mad at it. It's a lot to do with like navigate. Like you ever just call up like something you got to get done through the government or like through bureaucracy, and it just takes forever. And there's always like another guy you've got to call.
Oh,
it's like so much to do with all that. It's so fucking annoying to go through these systems. So I think it's trying to highlight a lot of that to do with like just getting shit done as regards like money. Lots to do with money, like tax and insurance and shit. It's all the boring adult shit you got to go through. Lots of forms you got to fill out.
Yeah, like when that character's trying to get the person who's been wrongfully arrested let go, and he's like, you have to go over here and get this filled out. And then she goes there and she's like, well, is it stamped? You have to have a stamp right here.
That's what registering for self-employment is like. It's just a nightmare.
Just another guy you got to talk to on the phone.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They all sound exactly the same, and none of them are in the UK.
I guess it highlights like even when you're following the system that's laid out for you, it still is not like it's still not any good, and it's still falling apart. Like either side of that, which I think was quite.
I feel like they're all like really confused by their own stuff. Like they don't even know what to follow. So how do they expect you to know what to follow?
Well, like, we as people, as like the public, put trust in like our government to do things correctly. But like we see time and time again. Well, we should. That's the thing. That's what the government's there for. That's what these. Yeah, it's the idea of the government is probably better than what it actually is. But like time and time again, they just prove that they're shit at everything that they do.
History repeats itself.
Here we go again.
Well, not everything. Maybe every so often Bojo will have like a little party and everybody get mad, but it's like
a little party.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like characters like revolting against this world that's been created, like a lot of like terrorist bombings all throughout. And I really like enjoy how like just casual everyone is about it. Like in that restaurant scene where just like, it's a gigantic explosion and people's like faces have been blown off and there's like blood everywhere and everyone's just like still eating their meals, and the waiter comes over and goes, oh, I'm sorry, this doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, but doesn't that just kind of like speak to how we kind of react to like the news now? We're like so
desensitized.
Yeah, that's it. Desensitized to like everything that happens. Like literally, I'll see something on the news that'll be like, gunshots gone off in some like place in like Japan or something, I'll go, oh, here we go again. Like it's one of those things that you're just so used to all this shit happening that you're not even surprised by it anymore, and that's really fucking sad.
Usually you are eating your dinner when these things are going on.
Yeah, because the news is on at 6. I eat at 6, so it kind of makes sense.
I don't know. It's also something that happened in 1984. Just like bombs would go off. You know. So I don't know. There's so many great ideas, but like, it's the same thing. It's just 1984 in like a different skin, you know, and it's a different medium.
Like it's wacky.
And they made it, and it's wacky. It's crazy. People are wearing shoes as hats. It's crazy stuff, man. I do like those dreams though. Like, I didn't realise they were dreams. It's like, let's cut to this guy flying through the air. He's got massive wings.
He's got massive wings.
He's got to fight a samurai.
Yeah, I think it was only like this time around where it's kind of like a metaphor for him like fighting against a machine. Like that's what I thought. Like the girl represents like she's kind of being controlled by it, wants to escape also. The samurai is kind of like the man he has to fight against to free her from this state. At least that's what I got from it.
Cool.
Kind of like a Shaolin Showdown type of thing. Yeah. I liked all that. I liked how the samurai looked. He was fucking cool, man. These like different like costumes that they have, and like mostly you're seeing like grey suits, and a lot of like just day-to-day kind of clothing you'd see on people in like this weird dystopia. So I kind of like that when it's like it was trying to draw attention to it when he went through like this building and like a bunch of dudes in grey suits would like follow this boss man through the building, and like they're just like chatting nonsense. Can this do that? It was really funny, but like that's what happens, man. And it's like it's just a bunch of vague nonsense, but it's so funny because like we all go through that kind of shit. Just maybe not every day, but like if you're in that kind of environment, it can be quite overwhelming. I think a lot. It's like what I liken to like Wall Street seems to be a lot like that.
Yeah,
just like a bunch of chatter and noise and nothing ever. You can't like form a complete thought within your mind because it's all just bureaucracy, you know.
I really love like just the general visual look of the movie. Like I think it's down to how the films look because he was like an artist before a filmmaker. I think there's a lot of like really creative cinematography and lighting throughout, like really great usage of handheld cameras, great usage of shadows in a lot of scenes, and a lot of like bright neon lights. Of course, the set design and locations all I think look super distinct and unique. They have like this very like industrial sort of look that I really, really love. I think just visually it is fantastic looking.
Yeah, I think there was like a lot of shots where like it feels as though they've attached the camera like to the dude's back, and it's just like this overhead shot because it feels quite fixed. I liked a lot of I like a lot of like the cinematography in it. It looks amazing. I just wish it was attached to a different movie almost. I just wish like the story was different. I wish it was told differently. But all the technical stuff, you know, like lots of really nice sets, lots of really cool robots. It's like a robot with like a red eye and a telescopic pupil that was like so clearly like an allegory for Big Brother.
Oh, yeah, like always watching you kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love like at the end where there's that like car chase where it's like all obviously like a mixture of miniatures and real vehicles. And I think that looks really great.
Well, that was cool. Didn't he like almost die in that?
Yeah.
And then it gets out and he's just like hanging on to the front of the truck and he's like, I love you.
Yeah, and he's like...
She should have just run him over then.
I agree. Could have just shortened it so much more.
And he starts cheering at the end when the people chasing him have like crashed and blown up until he sees like one of them like horribly set on fire and screaming.
Yeah, that's awful. That scene is quite awful because I think it just shows you like that style of destruction you can get when you get quite fearful as well, and you just sort of like go a bit manic. And it's just, that scene was just so like, oh, look what you've done. Look what you've done.
Yeah. Can't believe you've done this. Yeah. It was like that corpse in the coffin when he goes into like the gelatin, bunch of gelatin shit to make up just the decayed body. That was so cool. All comes out on the floor. Just Slops on the floor.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
that's
how you
awesome.
said it was cool and not gross.
It is gross. That's what makes it cool. It was like Cronenberg-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
It's just
cool.
this like woman who throughout is having like loads of plastic surgery done, but she's gone to like a bad plastic surgeon. So there's like complications all the time. Like she's basically falling apart
And
because
she
of
just dies. Fuck.
There's a dude called Mr. Helpman, but he was like the least helpful dude of all.
I think that's the whole another stuff.
I like all those like little posters that you get in like the backgrounds. Every so often you just like read one. It's like, oh, okay. Loose talk is news talk.
Or the ones that are like,
Don't suspect a friend.
Don't
Report him.
trust your friend. Yeah.
I was astonished when Robert De Niro showed up. I was like,
yeah.
is that Robert De Niro? He just comes out and he's like delivers the best performance there, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did the film for free, and like he was like originally he really wanted to play the main character, and I think Terry Gilliam was like, "No, if you're going to be in this movie, you have to play this character."
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah. It was the right character for him.
Back when he cared. Back when he cared about making movies. What's that?
Little fuckers.
Little fuckers. And like a bunch of paper gets stuck to him and like it teleports him away. It was so
Does it-
cool.
Does it
was
teleport him or like kill him?
Who knows? Maybe it does both.
Don't know.
Maybe he was that corpse that they had in the coffin.
Just turns into air.
Yeah. Disintegrates.
I think like when he like defeated the samurai and he took the mask off and it was him, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck you. It was so obvious. It was like, yeah, sure. Oh dear.
I do love Jonathan Pryce in the movie. He plays Sam. Like I think he has like this really like anxious, almost like zany sort of style to his performance that I think fits really well with the movie.
Yeah, it was really good. A lot of great performances, honestly. And I can't really fault any of them. It's like they're all really good at it. Everything's really good in this movie. It's just
You just don't like the
themes.
don't like the themes.
Got Michael Palin who's in it playing like an executioner who's like going insane.
He's so good, yeah.
Yeah, I really like Michael Palin.
It was like a really strangely serious role for him.
Yeah.
Even though it is like very comedic at times, it was interesting to see him in that kind of role because I only see him in like Monty Python stuff like that, which he's also really good in. But it's like it's really interesting just to see these different actors like branch out even in these different genres. Like it's not like a The Rock, you know. You're just seeing or just these people you only see in one type of genre. It shows that they're like actually like chameleons, you know. Is why they were the great guys back in the day.
Yeah, that's why I love Robert De Niro in the movie, playing this like very different like bit part instead of like a main character that he would normally play.
He was a bit bonkers.
Yeah. I also love those like two guys who work. I can't remember what the thing's called, where they come to like fix his flat.
Oh yeah.
And they find that it's already been made a complete flat.
Yeah. So yeah, it's supposed to be funny, but it was like this happens. This happens. People get their homes taken away from them. It's really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's kind of how I feel about the whole film. It is very funny, but like when you stop and think about it, it is also quite sad.
It's quite like stark, isn't it?
Sad. It's a statement for is still very relevant today.
That's why we still read 1984.
Yeah.
We get wound up because nothing's changed, but like I don't know. It's the same system, you know. If you don't change it, then nothing gets done. Go on to ratings.
Sure thing.
What are we doing out of? You decide.
Pythons.
Pythons, okay. All right.
All right,
I just
okay.
like read
All
a
right,
review
then.
and the first word I saw was Python, so it's very, very, very similar to 1984. But I think Terry Gilliam's style fits really well with it, so I never have an issue with how similar it may be. I think it's funny, sad, really well made. It's one of my favourites. I'm going to give it 10 Pythons out of 10.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a bit too It's a bit too. I don't know what to say.
I love a bit too.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I don't really want to watch it again anytime soon, but I would like to watch it again eventually because I think there's a lot more to get out of it that perhaps I didn't. It was just kind of, it stopped being funny after a certain point, and I was like, just let it end. Yeah, give it a 6.
Shall I go? Okay. I never know like what order to do any of this in anymore. I just didn't like it. 5 out of 10. I forgot what we were rating out of 5 on. Sorry.
I think favorite thing in the world, but on watching it again, I appreciated parts of it a lot more. So, and I like the set, I like the colours, I like the computers, and I like Michael Palin. So 7 pythons out of 10.
Nice. I like the computers. I recommended a movie. It was called Carol. It's from 2015. It's directed by Todd Haynes, and it's set over Christmas. Who'd have guessed it? It's in the 1950s, New York, and there's a girl. She's played by Rooney Mara, and she's called Therese or Therese. I don't know. I was like, Therese. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like Therese
I thought they were pronouncing it wrong. But she works at a department store, and she meets Carol. Ooh, and she's like an older, glamorous woman. She's currently married and going through a divorce. And from there, it's like a relationship between the two that develops. We kind of watch it as we see them start falling for each other. What do we think of Carol?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I liked it. I really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't watch it with us, Lara.
No, I didn't. So
I watched it alone. I watched it alone after we watched it together. Because I felt it was like, oh, okay, that was really good, but like I didn't get enough out of it. I think it's a really stylish movie. It's like, what's it on film? It's like Super 16mm, and I felt like that was a really good way to like show the time period, like the 1950s or like 1940s. It looks fantastic, you know, and it really feels like it's in that era, you know. And I love like period dramas that do that kind of thing, or like when they don't, it's like, well, it just looks like it was made today. I don't know, there's nothing special about it. There's something special about this movie, I feel. Something nice and heartwarming and just Christmassy, you know. Love all that.
Nothing more Christmassy than lesbian sex.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah, I do think they do a great job of like really selling that 50s look. I do think visually it does still kind of look like a modern film. But the usage of film and like just all the like costumes and set designs and all of that, I think really solidifies the setting like perfectly.
Yeah. I found it to be like, it was quite like, I almost felt like it was like washed out. But like deliberately so.
Yeah.
But like when they got in like the car, whenever Carol and Therese were in the I keep saying Therese. It's Therese.
Therese.
They keep saying Therese, but I'm going to say Therese.
Therese.
It's Therese. Yeah.
Only you are saying Therese.
So, yeah, I found it to be like quite washed out, the colour palette, but like whenever they were in the car together, it was like it starts getting a bit more vibrant and the colours start popping a bit more. I found that to be like, oh, you know, they're together and it's like love, man. It's love, and the colours start going crazy, and that's what love is, man.
I would consider it soft colours. It feels very like sepia, but not quite. You know, that kind of like antique, like brown
like
wash
muted.
and everything. Yeah, kind of like that. But I kind of liked it. It kind of it sits nicely, I think. But then apparently a lot of people from, well, not of that time, but a lot of people when they watch films like this, they go, "Oh no, everyone had like bright coloured like shit," and I'm like, but it's not all about that, is it? Really, I don't think.
No, they did a lot of filming through like windows, which I really liked, and like reflections in the mirror, and then like muffled glass. And I thought that was like a metaphor, I guess, of like this love that can't really. It's like happening, but it's not quite there yet, and they can't. There's lots of obstacles, but then when they're in the cars together, like those moments, colours popped a bit more, and I quite like that. And I also wanted to shout out to Teresa's beret because it was really cool.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Literally, all her outfits are like just. Oh, I just want them so badly.
Really good costume design in this movie.
Yeah.
It all looks off the time. It looks really great, fantastic berets and all those little things. Yeah, I think they put so much effort into it. I also got like this idea of them being kind of their love being out of time in regards to like the framing of the movie. They've always framed the characters just to the side.
Yeah.
Like they would be on either the left or the right, and when they were together, it would be a bit more centralized. If they were alone, but like whenever they were like in a restaurant or they were out with other people, it would like frame them in such a way as to like it was almost like a distant type of feeling, or like you couldn't touch it. It's not like it couldn't exist, you know. It's also like there were parts of the movie where Carol is supposed to be fighting for custody of her child, and she won't get the child because like she needs to see a psychiatrist or like a psychotherapist because she's been sleeping with women, which I guess back in like
that's
before a lot taboo. It was very sad.
Yeah,
it's
it
really
is.
sad.
like morally questionable attitudes or something. It's like, oh, like you wouldn't get away with that in this day and age. I don't feel like being like, oh, you can't have custody of your kid because morally you can't be having sex with women. It's just a bit
like the morality clause.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
Yeah, it's quite depressing.
It gives me the ick.
She was like at dinner with Sarah Paulson. She was like, a morality what? Clause. I was like, ha, I get it. Like Santa Claus. The Christmas movie.
I think that we've broken him. We've actually broken Max.
maybe.
English is going delirious.
He's like, Christmas, I need to find the ties.
This is a very green movie as well.
There was a train, little toy train.
I love that. There was a train. There was.
It was green. It was a really green movie, and I thought it was quite interesting to see a Christmas movie go so
Green.
wild with that kind of colour, whereas they would usually equate, Christmas with red or white and those kinds of colours with more warm tones, but it's usually going for like this kind of green palette most of the time. You got like green walls, green lights, and all this kind of stuff. I guess you could equate that with like Christmas trees are green, but it was also like I think it's like connotations of like to be green is to be inexperienced, and like like back in the day they were like, oh, he's a green boy, he's not experienced in the field or whatever he needs to do. Like it's a lot to do with like I guess nature, like green for nature, and a time where like to love someone of the same gender was considered not natural, despite it like it just is.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think they've used so much green in the movie.
I think also maybe like for hope, because it's that kind of like hope that one day could be together, or like one day things will be fine, or like one day she'll get her custody of her child. So I think maybe it's like also that like fresh new beginnings as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether green is a colour of its time. Like I don't know whether like red was added more in. I don't know, because it's obviously the 50s, isn't it? I don't know whether green was just something that they use naturally because it's easier to get hold of. Like, you can just get plants wherever, if that makes sense. Like, you don't really see, like, plastic decorations and stuff.
I think it helped.
But I don't know.
I think it helped with the palette in terms of, like there's, like, straight up, like, green walls, and there's, like, the department store is, like, a massive green wall there. If it would have been, like, red, it would have maybe have looked a bit too dark.
Yeah, I feel like if you're using a certain colour palette, I feel like red's quite strict.
No.
Plus, it would look kind of like brown because of the layers.
And I was like, you better not do this to me, Todd. Is it Todd? Todd Haynes, you better not do this to me. Well, I feel like a lot of these movies that I watch where it depicts like characters and they don't end up, it's
Badly.
like, yeah, but they can't be together. It's like, I'm so tired of that shit, man. I'm so bored of
Max,
it.
it is a massive trope in all gay films. It has to end badly. One has to die. One has to go marry a woman or a man or whichever, whatever side going from. It never ends well, ever.
But I'm glad this one did.
This one did.
It did. They had a little bit of a falling out. They had a little bit of a tiff, I suppose, or like they needed to sort their lives out. Carol needed to get custody of her kid, and Rudy Mara, Teres needed to get a job.
So that she did.
Now they can live together. It was like a really nice ending. And like at the end, when I watched it the first time, I was like, okay. That was nice, I suppose. But like when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was like relieved. I was like, oh, thank God that she went back.
It is like a massive relief.
Yeah,
It was really like
sweet.
warming, wasn't it? Heartwarming.
It is. It was so much like, I get so much yearning from the movie itself with these characters who are just like, it's only like 2 hours, which I say, but like, you could develop a relationship in that amount of time and have it feel stale or like they didn't develop the characters enough. But I feel like they did enough to where I felt like they actually really liked and loved each other.
Yeah, like you wanted good things to happen for them.
So I appreciate like Rooney Mara and
Kate Blanchett.
I was going to say Winslet. No, Kate Blanchett. They were like actually doing all this stuff together. Like when they were on the phone, they were actually on the phone together. They actually, even though they didn't need to, I think it helps to deepen the dynamic of the characters. It just makes them a bit more believable and a bit more fleshed out. Yeah, you just want them to succeed, I think.
Yeah, I think they're both really great in the movie as well. They both deliver really great performances, and I love the characters. They're both like very, very distinctive and completely different. And I think like so much identity and personality is just like showed through how like subtle their performances can be a lot of the time, and also in like smaller things like their costumes and how they act and that sort of thing.
Like glamorous character, I think. There's a line I found on the second go round that was quite interesting. Well, like there's the guy that Teres meets who's like the film buff, and he's like trying to get her to like make a portfolio of her photos. He says, "Oh, I'm charting the correlation between what the characters say and what they really feel." When he was watching the movie at the theatre, I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." There's a lot of subtlety to do with like the performances and what's left unsaid. I think in a time where like you couldn't say these things, or like to be in a room with other people, you couldn't show that side of yourself.
I really love the music in the movie. It's like incredibly atmospheric and subtle. There's like a lot of it is with piano and stuff like that, but I think it's like really, really good.
Oh, I love it so much. I love it in the sex scene.
Yeah.
Finally.
Finally. Fine, let's get into it. It was great.
It was very
so
good.
much. You could always tell when a director doesn't understand how to film a sex scene. But this was really, really well done. A lot of like they blurred the camera a bit every so often, or like you show these like really close-up shots of them. It shows that he just knows exactly what he's doing. A lot of like weird and different angles to show like bodies entwining in different ways. It's kind of like I've not really seen a sex scene shot in this manner in like really any other film that I've watched. I felt it was quite unique.
It seemed kind of tasteful in
It
a
was
weird
very-
kind
it
of
was
way.
very
Yeah,
tasteful,
like,
quite
yeah.
like it wasn't one of those things where you just watch it and I didn't feel like really awkward watching it. Like some films,
It's not
but yeah,
gratuitous, is it?
yeah. When you watch a sex film and you're like sex film, like a sex scene in a film, and you go, like you just kind of want to die. But this wasn't.
It
This
feels
wasn't really
very like intimate, like
Feels
the way
organic.
it's shot, I think.
No, you can tell like it's actually them
Yeah.
doing that stuff. Otherwise, they usually get like body doubles, and like you can absolutely tell. I think, I really like just the dedication that these guys showed. The craft. The craft.
To be fair though,
The real craft of it. Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Steamy stuff.
It did like it had that steamy kind of look to it, I think, actually.
Yeah, but it didn't feel
But
like
like in a really like soft, subtle,
yeah,
natural
exactly.
kind
It didn't
of way.
feel like a hardcore lesbian
No.
sex scene or anything. No, because you see some of these films like I don't know if any of you've seen like Blue is the Warmest Color or anything,
Yeah.
but
No.
sometimes it's just there for just being there. It's like this is a gay
This
film.
is hot, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
To be fair, it doesn't even have to be like a gay movie. Like the Gaspar Noé movie Love is literally just like a story, and then it cuts to like hardcore sex.
so sometimes I
Yeah,
just
this
don't
is
think
not
it's
like that.
necessary, you know.
Yeah.
I felt like this was like a nice transition into like the progression of their relationship, if that makes sense. Like it kind of happens at a good pace, and it just happens.
I think it's integral to the story.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly.
a
I
lot
feel
of
like it had to
films just
happen.
happen because like just for the sake of it.
Yeah,
If there was something unrealistic, I think that there's no way they could have slept on a single bed together, just like entwined together. I was like, okay, they were trying to sleep in a single bed. Was like,
that is actually
off,
true.
like,
That it's not very easily done. I'd put it that way. I don't
Carol's
think.
like, you know, you don't
think it
have to
was.
sleep on the other single bed, right? I'm like, yeah, she does.
Maybe they just like pushed them together
Yeah,
for
they
like that
could've
one
done
bit,
that.
and then pulled them away.
Like fall down the crack.
Yeah.
Like go to hotels and like they've just pushed two single beds up
Yeah.
against each other.
It is true. We have seen it recently.
Well, they did that in Brighton, didn't they?
Yeah, I actually thought it was like
Pushed
one
those
massive
two
bed.
beds together.
Yeah, I was like sinking in the middle.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking tragic.
I think there's a lot with like these different car journeys that they take, where I feel it's so separated from the other world. It's like two different worlds in a way. It's almost like the real world and the dream world. And in the dream world, they're together and they're having fun, and like nobody's around to like tell them what to do or whatever. It's why I think it's shot so in like a very dreamlike way. There's a
Yeah.
lot to do with like the editing is just going crazy, and all the colors are very vibrant, and all the shots are kind of blurring, or like they've overlapped some shots together. It was really well done, very creative way of showing that.
Yeah, it's kind of like what, like, just even like driving represents. Like, you're blocked off from the rest of the world. Like, you're free, limitless. You can go wherever you want. That's kind of, I think, they like do that really well. I think the film looks really great visually, just generally. Like, I really love the cinematography throughout. Like, even like the way like the cameras like pan around and stuff. There's like this really great like kinetic energy to a lot of like simple looking scenes, I think.
Yeah, you said about the like shot through windows, Lara. I was like, there's a shot where like it's near the end, and like she's at a party, and it just like shows like the very outside, but it's like nighttime, and all you see is just like these two windows that are like kind of far apart, but like you see what they're saying to each other. I thought that was just really cool.
Yeah,
like,
that was
a
a
lot
great
of,
shot.
it could be so like plainly shot, this movie, but they actually go the extra mile to make it something that's like worth watching.
Yeah.
When they were at the bar, there was that guy who said employment is a curse.
Isn't that the truth?
Was it Teresa's boyfriend who's like, this is his name, Richard. He's like, oh, she's more excited about some chintzy camera than coming with me to Europe. And then like his mate's like, women? Oh, you said it, pal. But I think it's a lot to do with like the way women were treated back then. Like it's getting better, you know, but like it's still like it's made in 2015 for a reason. It's like you couldn't make that back in those days. I think it's a lot to do with like autonomy and like free will. I think I got a lot from like the way that women were treated back in those days, and you know, yeah, they could go around and you know buy things, but like it makes me like upset, you know, like how they like it's just people, you know, and like you treat people how you want to be treated, but like every opportunity, it's like you know you can't have your child because like you're sleeping with another woman. It's like it's horrible, these things that like just I think women had to go through back in those days is upsetting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And like the fact that he was her husband, what was his name?
Hodge.
Hodge.
What a crap name, by the way.
Daughter was like,
Sorry.
that's a shit name. Hodge.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think just the way that he was so like determined to keep her, and that's just like really irritating, because it's like you're treating her the way that you're treating her, but then you're so determined to just like keep her in this position or not let her have any kind of freedom, but you know, like at the same time he can't accept what she wants, and that was quite frustrating.
I found him a bit
like,
creepy.
Yeah.
She's like there to be possessed. She's like, that guy was so fucking detestable.
Yeah, but that's like 1950s culture, though, isn't it? It's like once you're married, you are property, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I would say it would almost be over the top, but it's like that happened, you know. You got like Richard, who's like always dressed as Inspector Gadget, but at Christmas got this like huge fucking like coat that like, makes his shoulders like huge. His waist is really skinny.
Maybe they couldn't find a coat that fit.
It's the only one.
They're like, this is close, so we'll just go with this.
But they also had kind of a similar relationship in the fact that, like, I guess he felt like he owned Therese, or like, he was like, "Oh, what are you doing to me, Therese? I got a better job for you. I got all these things
That
for
was
you."
the
It's like,
funniest thing he said. He was like, "You made me
sorry.
get a better job." I was like,
I'm so sorry for
"Did you
you.
get your shitty job?"
My life is better. I earn more money. So
Made
much better
no
off.
sense.
How dare you?
It's similar with that kind of like pinning down type thing that they all seem to want to do to women, because he's even like, you know, I offered to marry you kind of thing. It's like, so all right, mate, whatever.
I offered it. I didn't want to. I just offered it.
I like that scene a lot. It's quite claustrophobic. It's just like just one shot as well, and like this tiny, crappy apartment, right? It's just over like 3 rooms, and it's like the camera's on like a pivot. It's really, really well shot.
Like you say, this crappy apartment, but no one in 2021 could ever.
She had a lovely apartment. I love those mint walls. I was like, oh, nice colour.
We would never.
But in that moment, it's like so many like walls there, so many like walls and like doorways to rooms that like just loop around to each other, which I got quite a claustrophobic feeling from, where everything was probably mirrored in
It was
like, the
pretty
actual
tight.
relationship. Do we want to go on to ratings?
Yeah, I went from all my notes of okay.
Wondered why you were so quiet.
We could do it at a train set.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I really liked this movie. I thought it was really well made. I've not really seen much of Todd Haynes' other movies, except for the recent Velvet Underground movie he made, which was good. So I definitely want to check out more of his stuff, because I thought this was really great. Glad I finally got to watch it. I think I'd give it 9 train sets out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was also like... Sorry. Didn't you think like Carol's daughter looked strangely similar to...
Oh yeah, they have, because they have like the same
Yeah.
haircut and the same like outfits. It's weird. It is a pretty weird thing.
That's interesting.
She had very skinny little legs, that child. I just kept, every time I saw it, it's just like tiny little legs.
It was like that part where like Carol brings Therese home for like the first time, and her daughter's like, "Oh fuck, what is it?" She was like, "Oh, I got you a present," and her daughter's like, "Is it blue?" And she says, "No, it's green because it's a Christmas tree." But like, Therese is wearing blue. Quite interesting.
Well, like, you got me a mum for Christmas?
I got you a new mummy. I'll give it a 8 train sets out of 10.
Nice.
I was actually very happy when Max recommended it, because I've been meaning to see it for a while, but I've just kind of...
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I've never really found the time or motivation to watch it. Because I'm lazy when it comes to films, I only watch them when they're on the podcast. So, thanks, Max. I really loved it. So yeah, I'll give it an 8 train sets out of 10.
Darcy's always on the lookout for great gay movies.
Oh yeah, this is by far my favourite
Never
one,
quite
because
gets them, but
I literally said, finally, this film is gay enough, and I'm not sure if that's a thing, but there you go.
yes.
I really liked it. I really liked the filming. I loved the outfits. I love that beret just for the beret alone.
It was a great
It was pretty good. And yeah, I really liked the love between the two characters and just the way that was kind of set up, built up, and that emotion at the end of just when they kind of like lock eyes. I just thought it was really lovely. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 train sets.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
All right. So we come to my film. I chose Love Actually from 2003.
Yeah, you did.
Directed by Richard Curtis. What a guy. He did the About Time film. Is that right? About Time? One of my favourite films ever because it is great. Everyone loves this movie pretty much, but I haven't watched it in a while. I normally watch it like every year with my family, but I don't think we've watched it recently. So it was quite a shocking experience for all, wasn't it, guys? So basically the plot of the film is kind of loads of different plots that kind of all center into like one bigger picture. I think I couldn't tell you how many plots there actually are. I'm going to go from the poster. There is roughly 7 or 6 different plots happening, all involving different characters that kind of like know each other, but yeah, they all sort of intertwine. And it's about Christmas. What did we think?
No, it's the same plot told over 7 different couples.
There we go. Thank you. I don't know anymore.
It's the same thing. This sucked. So, like, what do you fucking say, Darcy?
Hey, but I wasn't bored though, like at any point.
Really? I thought it was pretty atrocious. I was actually shocked, and I thought I'd never seen it before. And you you hear so much about it. So you're like, Love Actually, like it's a Christmas film. It's on every year. I've seen the end. I've seen the ending about 50 times, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of excited. We're gonna watch Love Actually. I've never seen it. Here we go. And I was just like, what? Like, what?
That's actually what Max did. He went, I'm really excited to watch this. And then about 5 minutes in, I was like, he's definitely not having a good time.
Yeah, I'd never watched this movie either. I'd kind of been putting it off because I just didn't think I'd like it at all.
Yeah.
But this was kind of like almost like a parody of what I thought it would be. Like, it's the worst possible version of what this movie could be. It's just so bad.
Literally.
The thing is, I was not bored though, and in a film, that's what I like to look
bored.
for.
Yeah,
I'm not
fair.
bored because I'm laughing at all the stupid shit that is happening.
If I'd watched this on my own, I would be fucking bored.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
I don't think you would like
carried on.
finish it. I felt
No.
like all 3 of you would have gone, okay, I think I've had enough of that now, and
Yeah, I
just
think
turned
I
off
actually would have
politely.
turned it off after like the first or second scene.
It was also like, how many body parts could you get in like each scene? It just kept being like, there's a bum, there's like some boobs. It just was like really weird. Didn't like
I
it.
think that just sort of adds into Chris's idea of like the whole parody thing. I feel
Yeah.
like they were just running with it, weren't they? They were like, here we go. We're just gonna chuck in all this shit and see if it sticks.
There's too much going on.
It was a bit bloated,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
On the verge of bursting. It's so bloated.
Yeah. Speaking of bursting.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like the relationships are like, they're not developed enough for me to care about. When there are so many, you want to attach yourself to at least one. But none of it is like romantic or hot or tense.
Well-
Just it all happens over like a matter of weeks. So they're trying to build up these
Yeah, for
relationships.
6 weeks, yeah.
Oh, I guess we love each other now because the movie dictates that.
Like,
It's very dull and it's very lazy.
it's true. Like, I mean, the only one couple that really grinded my gears because they like, it never got solved. There was no solution. Is the one with I've forgotten his name.
Name a character in
Oh
this
my
movie.
god, what's his name? Yeah, exactly.
Which one?
Snape. What's his name?
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, whatever his name is. I felt like there was like potential for like this like whole drama to be started up. Fuck all happened with it, and I was like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
There's not really any
thanks.
resolution with any of these.
No, but I felt like that was the one that had like the most, like, it could have had something really going and nothing happened. It was a bit like what was the point of that guy confessing his love for Keira Knightley? Fuck all happened there
What
as
was
well.
that?
Like, what was the point?
They loved her forever.
It was the bit that got memed the most, was where he's standing outside our house with the cards.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
I can't let my best friend know that I'm madly in love with you, so I just stand out here. It could have been the best mate who
well, she
answered
didn't
the door.
answer, yeah,
But
but-
like, thank God it was Keira Knightley who
And he's
opened the
just
door.
got
He's
this-
just standing there saying,
Alright.
with his cards that say "I love you so much."
Yeah, it's just him confessing
Yeah.
that he
And then
actually
leaves,
fancies
just,
his
like,
best
goes about
mate.
his business. What's the point? What was the point in that? Oh,
I actually can't believe I don't know anyone's names in this film. I'm
there was
actually
Colin. Colin was played by Chris Marshall, and he was out to get the babes, out to get the American babes.
Oh,
Oh, the
God.
My Family guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
My Family guy. He's like, yeah, well, in America, the girls, they love a British guy. He goes to America, and I was like, this guy's the worst. This is the worst character. Because what he wants is so fucking shallow and vapid, and you want him to be punished for it, but he gets rewarded? He, like,
Yeah.
goes to America, and he's like, his sole goal is to, like, get laid, because American girls are easier in his mind. And he just goes there, and I'm thinking these girls are going to rob him, and he's going to be left bleeding in the gutter.
and
But
that
no, he
yeah
gets
never happened.
3 of them, and he brings them all
I
back
thought it
to
was
England.
4 of them.
Yeah, no, there was a fourth one back at the house.
Yeah, there was.
There was
Yeah.
another one. Yeah.
You see her just coming through the door.
Yeah, there's just like a little silhouette of like him like getting jiggy with like these four girls, and it's just like,
That's like
that
the
would
whole
never
point.
happen.
It's like the whole point of an arc, though. He didn't have an arc.
No,
It's like
it
You're
started
supposed
and
to like
ended.
go down the
Yeah.
road at some point. You're supposed to go downhill at some point, but he never did. He just constantly went up.
I just felt like his arc was like finished within the first scene. He was like, "Oh no, I'm a British loser and no one fancies me. I'm going to go to America," and then that was it. He was done. That was his
Yeah.
story. Finished.
It was completely pointless. I think that's the worst bit of the film.
It's like his downhill path was like when he lost all that money going to America for the plane. I feel like he spent a bunch of money on a plane, probably. They never, like, it was like an internal dilemma for him. We never saw it.
But it worked out because he got everything he needed.
Yeah.
Everything he
That is
wanted.
true. I mean, I just don't know what to say. Like, I mean,
What do you think was
I
gonna
don't
happen,
know.
Darcy?
what?
What did you think? What were you thinking?
What of this film?
What were you thinking when you recommended this movie?
Well, truth be told,
I feel like I ask you this every week.
No, but I mean, yeah, to be honest. Well, I hadn't seen it in a while, and I actually remember. Thing is, right, I do this thing where I go, "Oh yeah, I remember these parts of the film, and I liked them," so I instantly just then think, "Oh, I must have liked the rest of the film."
No, we tell you,
that's
this
not
is-
how it works.
it is a
All the
curse.
my favourite bits are the bits with Bill Nye in them, and that was probably.
Yeah, I thought they were
Yeah,
all right.
like I don't know. It was that. Those are the
No.
bits that I remember when you asked me about that film. Those are the first things I think about, and I go, "Yeah, I like those bits." So that means I must have liked this film. And then I watch it and I go, "No."
But comparatively, sure, like maybe Bill Nye was like the best one of the lot, like because comparatively
Yeah.
he was better.
All right, yeah,
Because
I'm
he's
not.
making fun of like tropes and shit.
Yeah,
He's like actively making fun of like basically the movie you're watching. So you almost feel like they're self-aware, but they're not because they're just doing it anyway. He's doing all this shit that he's like ranting about in the first place. Honestly. Oh, I hate how like it looks as well. You said like there's too many bodies in like
Too many bodies.
any given shot. There's
It's
too-
very busy,
there is,
yeah.
It's a very busy movie.
Like that art gallery, like what? Oh, it was awful.
Oh, what? Where
gallery?
where there's like loads of people at
It's
this
just like-
art gallery. It's just
yeah.
like everyone's there, all there.
And like
All that, no one
the
can see me.
art, the art was just like these. It was just like male bodies of bums on the wall. Did nobody know? Who knows that?
maybe they just thought they could get away with it. To be honest, I wasn't even looking at it. I just didn't even.
I didn't
notice.
realise it was
Yeah,
like 15 going into it. And then like so much of it was like quite, I don't know, gratuitous if is the right word.
or
but
like
it's
raunchy.
It's like, yeah, raunchy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
look what we can show, it's a 15. It's like, but it's really unimaginative. It's like, let's just shove all this shit in. Just throw in a couple of swear words.
As well as many problematic things that fell out of all of their mouths.
Oh yeah. There were some points where we were all kind of looking at each other and kind of going,
Like when the film opens up by referencing 9/11.
Oh, yeah,
right.
that was
I completely
so
forgot about
weird,
that, and that was fucking weird because like I said, I know I keep saying that I've seen it, but I don't remember that part actually being in the film. I remember them being like in the airport and meeting up with each other, these little montages and stuff. But this bit about 9/11, I don't remember that at all. I don't know why that's in there either. Like, can someone tell me why that's in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It felt like it had no relevance to the story either, so I don't understand why it was in there.
It didn't have any relevance.
I want Richard Curtis to tell me himself.
It's a British movie.
Yeah, why the hell was that in this film? I do not know.
You got Liam Neeson, who's there, who's like recently been widowed, and everyone's telling me you're not going to get a girlfriend if you stand there crying all the time. Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
His wife's just died. Shut up.
That's like his whole arc is that he learns to like
love again. Yeah.
No, learn to stop crying and man up.
Yeah.
He's just forced to.
Yeah, the most toxic masculine like traits just like shoved in this like one story arc. It's just kind of weird.
It starts with her funeral.
I think.
He's like at a funeral.
Oh god, that funeral was awful as well.
Oh yeah, and they were like telling jokes at the funeral, like
Terrible.
So okay, I know this film, as not great as it is, like I said, I was never bored. Like
Whenever someone like falls in love, there's that one like musical piece that plays.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Like, it just keeps happening when people like look at the person that they're meant to like fall in love with, or something happens between them, and like it just plays, and it's so hilarious.
Yeah, but that's what happens in real life. Like that music
Always
actually goes off.
Yeah.
I was somewhat invested in the Colin Firth's character with the girl,
The Portuguese lady.
girl.
Yeah.
For like a moment, I was like, okay, I'll lock onto this one, and then it just.
This will be my one.
Yeah.
Whereas I was more into what's it, Hugh Grant?
Yeah. I mean,
Prime
the
Minister.
best bit of the whole movie
Was
is
the
Hugh
jump
Grant
bit? Let's be
dancing.
honest, him dancing around the Houses of Parliament was probably the best bit of the whole
It
film.
wasn't long enough.
No, I actually thought it was longer.
thought it was
like we were
longer.
sitting there going, yeah, and then it just
Stop.
ends. Okay.
Rewind.
I could watch that on a loop for an hour and a half and it would
Yeah,
felt the
it
same.
could have just been that, and I'd been fine.
Why did Colin Firth and that girl he was with just go into the river?
Oh,
Like,
they
his
jumped into
papers
that
fly
lake.
into the river. Any sane person would be like, they're gone, mate.
Yeah,
They're
be like,
absolutely, it's paper.
who cares?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
who
Was it supposed to be
cares?
like spontaneous and
Yeah.
cute?
Like, no, they have to
oh,
dive
yeah.
in. And
You
like,
have to
she's
dive
like,
in.
I'll save all your paper, Colin Firth. And then he's like, oh, no, I can't let you. I can't let you go in there alone. So he goes in there with her, and the music starts playing. Like,
I found it a
no
little.
point.
I did find it a little bit weird that there was like, obviously they've only just met each other, but like they didn't even speak
Same language.
like the same. Yeah, so like I know obviously you could
That's
be
'cause
attracted to
love
someone, but like
transcends
yeah,
language,
but like
Dossie.
I just feel like you don't really have a lot to go on if your whole relationship is just based on the fact that you think that this. Like you two are like attracted to each other physically, but like, what's the point? Like you might get to know each other and really hate each other because you can find like when he goes over there and he starts speaking Portuguese, and I was like, that's a lot of effort. I like that. He's made an effort. But what happens though when he's all like, oh, I want to marry you, and then she's just like, oh, I actually hate everything that you like.
It doesn't matter.
Like
What
the fuck?
No idea. Just have no idea. Although, well, when they were in the water, it was kind of like showing, I guess, that they were quite similar because like stuff they were saying was like sort of matching up, but obviously it's like different
Oh,
language.
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So it's like there's something there, but then at the same time,
Maybe it's
It
just
did-
for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt a little bit forced to me, but I can kind of. I don't know. Maybe
no
I
one
can see
told
past
Colin
it.
Firth that Portuguese women were not just for Christmas.
I don't even know what was the other storylines. To be honest, just
You got the kid.
His was
Oh,
probably the
little-
most purest love.
Little
Like,
Jojen Reed. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
love
he's
this girl.
so
Yeah.
cute.
His is like the best one. But it's
And
because he's a
apparently he's
kid.
meant to be like 13 in this film, and I refuse to believe that because he
Oh.
Yeah,
literally
well, the
looks like
actor
he's
was
8.
13 when he played the role.
No,
He
he was
literally looks
25
8.
actually. He just never ages.
He's youth, like youth incarnate.
You also had Laura Linney, who plays that character who's like in love with someone she works with and like finally dances with him, but she has to look after her brother who gets put into care.
Oh,
yeah, that
I
was quite
love. Do you know what? She
sad.
was really great in Ozark, but not so much in this.
Even though in other things they've been better in.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that with literally every single actor in this movie.
Yeah, to be fair, the acting was poor.
Yeah.
Don't be around the bush. It
Like,
was poor.
There are all these great actors, but it was the performance-wise, it was just not good.
Digging the
Yeah.
knife in. It was bad.
Worst perpetrators, Ant and Dec.
Oh yeah.
Why were they in this
Why were they?
movie? It was very obvious. It felt dated. Like the second that they were on that like little TV show with Blue, was it?
Yeah,
The
Felt
second
dated.
the film started, it felt dated.
Yeah, but that's where all the
Okay.
humour lies. It's funny because it's old and out of touch.
I mean, in fairness, it probably was of its time when it came out. Probably.
People
Did I
love
say it
this
was
movie.
2003? Yeah, it probably was of its time.
Why do
but-
people love this movie?
That's
Like,
why I
why?
really
A lot of
wish
people
like,
just-
at least one of us loved it.
To be honest,
Yeah.
right? I mean, as much as it wasn't good, I'm not defending it and saying that it's a brilliant film or anything. But if you take out the fact that it's meant to be like a serious movie, you could have a bit of fun with it. Like we all had a laugh at some
It
point.
was
Like
funny.
it was funny.
But we were laughing at
At
it.
it. Yeah, but think of it this way: like I could happily watch it every Christmas if I knew that I could just have a little laugh of it. I'm not going to take it seriously. It's not a film that is to be taken seriously. I
hope I never watch this again.
I think
Well.
that's what it is, though. I think it's one of those films that everyone has put it on at Christmas every year, but doesn't really watch it.
maybe
It's like
it
on in the
is.
background.
Yeah, it's on in the
As they make it
background,
in
and
their
you're like,
presents.
"Oh, we're going to put
Yeah.
Love Actually."
Yeah,
on.
maybe it's a
Let's-
tradition film.
Yeah,
that
but
people
actually,
put on, yeah.
no one sits down and watches it. And if they did, maybe they would change their
Yeah, like
mind.
they put it on to like wrap up presents or like
Yeah.
to have a discussion with their family because they can't be bothered to put anything else on. It's a bit like when you put when you put the soaps on in the background, but you're just having a chat.
You mean
That's
when
right,
you
that's
put
what I-
the soaps on in the background?
When I put the soaps on, because that's what we do in our family. We put the soaps on and have a
This
chat.
isn't a movie to be like watched.
There were
like-
some
Oh,
good.
like I wouldn't
It's-
take this film seriously.
It's a
No.
background
At all,
movie.
no.
No. However, there were some good bangers in it.
Oh, yeah. The soundtrack to this
Yeah.
film is actually probably the best part of the whole film.
White Flag.
Yeah, that
Agree.
Dido song's a tune. And what's
Dido.
it? You got Justin Timberlake in there as well, I think.
Sugar Babes, Too
Sugar
Lost in
Babes,
You.
Literally,
Tune.
2003 was the year of bangers. Let's just put it that way.
I'll give it that. A couple of bangers.
It did have some good bangs in it.
Yeah.
I just wish I had some mash, you know.
Yeah.
Like there was there was good songs but no substance.
Yeah, and I wish it didn't end with that performance of All I Want for Christmas Is You. So it was like the most
Right, yeah.
obvious song choice.
Yeah, that was not.
Bit on
I
the
also
nose,
don't like that song like
No.
at all.
This whole movie's a bit on the nose, though.
Yeah.
But I feel I don't know.
Expect
Maybe it was
nothing
just what they were. Is it what they were going for? I really can't tell whether this film is like parody being serious or whether it's actually just serious, tongue in cheek. I'm trying to be funny, but it's of its
trying
time.
to be a rom-com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what if it's serious or not. That's what I'm trying to get at. I can't tell.
It is serious. It's 100%
Yeah, it's
serious.
just kind of like Richard Curtis's style, I think.
I
Right,
can
but he
tell
did
when all the
About
jokes
Time.
are. I
Okay.
can tell when the jokes
that's
that
a
want
good-
me to
that's
laugh.
a good
About Time is
movie.
probably one of the best
Yeah.
films
That is a good movie.
ever made if you want to watch a rom-com, but not Love Actually.
But I feel like this film just kind of like encapsulates the worst parts of his writing. It's just like all the tropes that he normally puts into his movies are here.
Maybe this one's just not
It's
one of
almost
his
like
best.
he just like got super in his head. Because this is like the first film he directed himself. He's like known for
okay.
writing before that. So I feel like he just went and did like the most Richard Curtis movie and it just didn't work.
I don't feel like I hear a voice in this movie though. I don't feel like I hear his voice. It's like it's like a whole jumble of voices from just different people. I don't know. It feels like a really. It feels like a studio movie, but like not in a way that like I have become accustomed to studio movies. Because at least they're trying to be entertaining. With this, I don't know. I think it's just trying to be a movie you put on in the background when you're opening presents at Christmas. And I think that's what most people do. But they'll defend it to their dying breath because they never actually paid attention to it.
I don't know if I mean, I remember paying attention because obviously, like, I paid attention to parts of it because whenever I think about the film, I think about those parts. But I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and like properly paid attention to it. But that says more about me because I don't pay attention to films when they're on anyway. So I don't know whether I just watched it and went, "Oh, I like those bits, so I must like this film," rather than I've actually sat down, watched it, and genuinely liked it. Because we used to just put it on, and I would be like, wrapping presents, or I'd be like, once in a blue moon, I actually cook something for Christmas, and I'll do something like that. But maybe I just didn't pay attention.
Is it because to actually look upon it is to like almost have like a Medusa effect?
Maybe I was just tranced by
like it looks horrible. It looks disgusting. It's really like overexposed. It's like super bright and like
I don't know. I didn't mind how it looked, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hate. There was like a wedding scene at the beginning, and like it was just so bright. I was like, am I sitting in the wrong place? I don't know.
You were quite close to the TV, to be fair.
Well, like, I don't know. I felt like I was seeing it about as well as you guys were. It's just like above that. It's just so the shot composition is so dull. The camera movements are it's just there. It's just like they put like a camera on a tripod and they're like, I don't know, go ahead. Do they understand what blocking is? I don't know. We need some lighting in here, Richard. It's like, just get a light then. Just get a fucking light, mate. And
why is it they just got like
where am I
tons
supposed
and
to be?
lights?
Where am I supposed to be, Richard? And he's just like, no.
You can really tell
man.
This is like his first like directorial movie.
Yeah. He's really going ham with it, but like it's too much.
I don't know. I didn't completely hate it. Like all jokes aside,
some of the sets he like didn't even complete. I feel. When Colin goes to like America and he gets to that bar.
That didn't look finished. That didn't look finished. It literally looked like someone just put up like a couple of posters and put a table in and went, "That is going to be the bar." Well done.
It looked like a Corrie set, but like before they started filming.
But do you know what? Shit all you want on Corrie, but even Corrie's got better sets than that. Like they actually have a proper pub in Corrie.
Yeah,
Look at that actual pub. Jesus Christ.
It's horrible.
They couldn't even rent out a pub for like a day. Like, no, just to film it.
Too much. Probably didn't want them there.
Apparently they did like a follow-up for Red Nose Day in 2017.
I haven't seen it
It's
and I
like 15
refuse.
minutes long.
No.
It's like got a lot of the original cast come back replaying the characters again.
So what is it? Like a little recap? Like, oh look, we had the Prime Minister and that woman had a baby. And...
Yeah, it's like,
fuck off.
Here's what's happening now 14 years later.
Did anyone care though? I mean,
probably not.
Do you know what the thing is? People did though, didn't they? Clearly, because everyone loves this film.
Clearly half the world cares.
Loved it enough for a follow-up.
Apparently Hugh Grant dances to Hotline Bling in it.
Okay.
No, you need to put back on the original song or nothing. I'm not listening to Hotline Bling.
Or just neither.
I don't like it when franchises do that. Don't try and make it all modern and cool. Fuck off.
Billy Bob Thornton show up.
Yeah.
It's like the American president. Like he comes in,
groping people.
Oh god, yeah.
He like hits on Grant's.
Very American.
Very American.
He like hits on Grant's girl, and he's like, that tears it. And then he goes on this like super patriotic run about how great Britain is, and the music is going, and everyone's cheering. It's so cheesy. No one loves Britain that much. No one does. This is like a British cultural icon of a movie.
See, this is the thing though. Like, I don't know anyone who's that patriotic about Britain. But if you got an American, it'd be completely different. Like, if that American guy had gone off on a tirade, I'd be like, that makes sense. I don't know anyone who loves Britain that much.
Everyone loves America that much, though.
Honestly, they do. They genuinely do. They think they're the best country since sliced bread. One of them, someone from America's going to hear this and be like, "Yeah, right, bitch, we are the greatest."
Does Colin say, "I am Colin, god of sex"?
I think he did. Yeah.
I'm just on the wrong continent. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
That doesn't age
atrocious.
very well, has it, Colin? You couldn't say that nowadays.
He was a pretty he was pretty pointless little character, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like the
why
thing
was
is,
he there?
I like him, but why in this film? Why he why he in this movie?
Why him?
Just stay in my family.
Yeah, my family was great. Don't tarnish yourself,
Yeah.
even though it's too late now. But
Pretty sure he left it to be in movies as well.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen him in this film, but then I haven't seen a lot of films.
I mean,
So
if I give him anything, he's a standout.
yeah, but is that
Definitely
it's like
there.
for the wrong reasons though?
Just like Rowan Atkinson, he's there.
Oh yeah.
Or Mr. Bean himself.
To be fair though, I liked his little cameo in the film.
Yeah.
Everyone memes that as well, like the whole wrapping everything up in the most extravagant ways.
I didn't like him.
No.
I'll be honest. I thought he was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, but right, if we're really going to go down the unnecessary route, then half of this
entire
movie
movie.
is pretty unnecessary. I'm just taking it at face value here. This is the film that I got. I laughed. I had a semi-okay time. I laughed a lot. I didn't mean I loved it, but I had an alright time.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was shocked by it.
Yeah.
I
got to admit, some of it was pretty like, whoa.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
Some of it was very like,
I knew it was gonna be
2003.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was always going to be bad. Like,
I
genuinely,
didn't
I felt
think it was
within
going to
my
be
bones. I
that
knew it was going to be
bad.
bad.
I didn't expect it to be bad. I just knew I'd watch it and it wouldn't be my thing. Like I thought I'd come out of it like you did at Brazil, Matt, or one of you came out of Brazil. Like, yeah, I can.
Just one of you.
Yeah, there's like
It
good
doesn't matter
things
which one
about
I
this.
pick.
It's just not. I don't really like it, but no, there's just not really anything good about it at all.
But this film, and it kind of makes me cringe to think about it. This film started off like the plethora or series of the occasion films. Like you got New Year's Eve and New Year's Day or whatever the fuck they're all called, Boxing Day. Literally
Boxing
all
Day,
of those
can't wait to
films,
see
right?
Boxing Day.
I'm telling you, this film though was marginally better than the New Year's Day film that I had to watch last Christmas, and I fucking hated it. Bring me
Yeah,
back
that
Love
film
Actually,
sucks.
because I'm not watching that film ever again.
This
Ever.
is only slightly better than those Hallmark Christmas movies.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I kind of want to recommend a Hallmark Christmas
Don't
film
do
at
it.
some point.
No,
No, but I feel like the only
You'll
reason I
regret it.
wouldn't is because I feel like I would suffer.
I think like last year or the year before last, I went on like a rampage of like hate watching these Hallmark Christmas movies. They're all the same. All the posters
They all
are
have
the
the same formula to
all
them,
the
don't they?
characters are the
Yeah.
same. It's the same movie made 100 times.
I just don't know. Yeah, because you get like I'll go home tomorrow. Luckily, my family won't ever have them on, but I'll scroll through like the channel listings, and there'll be like 6 dedicated channels just to Hallmark Christmas films, and all of them just as shite as the other. Like it's criminal how they can make them, and they all make them in the same year. So like most of them will have come out either this year or the year before. They just fucking
Still
flash them out.
happening.
Yeah.
Why? Why do we do this?
I don't know.
Money.
I know. But the thing is, if they're on like Hallmark channels and stuff, do people like? Do they make money? Like how?
Yeah, for
how do...
adverts.
Put on the Hallmark channel. You just sit there while you play your, I don't know, Candy Crush on your phone.
Oh, and they. Oh, okay,
yeah,
so
okay.
it's, yeah,
Christmas.
because I just wonder how, like, on an actual serious note, I do wonder how many people actually watch the Hallmark Christmas channels.
Yeah, loads of people do.
Well, they must do because they have them every year. But
There
like,
are people out there who unironically really enjoy them.
I don't get that. I don't understand that at all.
But at least with those, I feel like they know what they are. With Love Actually, it's like it's trying to be something different. It's trying to heighten itself above that. It's trying to be like a cut above those Hallmark movies, but it's
not.
basically the same. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a Hallmark movie, but with an A-star.
Cast.
Yeah. Okay, right. I was just making sure that I said the right words.
Yeah. The cast are meant to carry it. I don't know if they do carry it.
I don't know, but the thing is that then says
They
more
can't
about
carry
the thing they were given. Because if you look at all of them individually, they're all really good.
Yeah.
But then you put them in this film, and it's like it all falls apart.
Well, because the writing's bad, right?
That's basically what I'm trying to say.
The framework is terrible.
They tried to do what they did with what they had. Like, you see Hugh Grant and Colin Firth in the Bridget Jones movies, completely different two people altogether. Great
Funny
fucking set
enough,
of
they were
films.
also written by Richard Curtis.
Then why did he make...
What's he doing?
He can make a good film. What is he doing? Richard Curtis, talk to me, my man. What the fuck?
I think he's past this. It was 2000. It was like nearly 20 years ago.
No, I'm bringing it back.
We need to shame Richard Curtis one last time.
Hey, I mean, I know I've just said what I will, but he has made a good film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened
I'll
here.
take your word for it.
Hey, About Time and Bridget Jones, two great films.
Speaking of which, it's about time we got onto ratings.
Wahoo!
Should we rate this out of Collins?
Okay.
Okay. No, you should Colin's Sex God. What was it?
Oh, no.
I would rather not.
Yeah, this film is really bad. Like, the more I thought about it and the more we've like discussed it, I like it even less than I did when we watched it. Like, I think I had a good time because it was like really ridiculous. I was a little bit tipsy because me and Max were drinking rum.
That helped.
Yeah, why is it
help.
every time we do like these like podcasts or whatever, we always sort of question a film, and then by the time we finish talking about it, we go, fucking hell, the more and more we spoke about that, the more fucking suck. Like, why is it we do that every time?
Because sometimes you just have to like really like think about a movie, like put what you think about it down and like really look at it to like form your opinion properly. And yeah, this is a really bad movie. When I originally rated on Letterboxd, I think I gave it like a 2.5, but I'm definitely thinking like 3 Collins out of 10 now.
Oh man.
Yeah, discussion helps.
Yeah,
Discussion helps to form a fuller opinion.
when I
Hindsight is
couldn't like,
20/20,
really
right?
think of a reason I enjoyed it at all.
Yeah.
I like couldn't justify giving it a
It was
higher
like
rating.
when we watched what was that dancing one?
And then we danced.
And then we danced, yeah.
Oh, and then
like,
afterwards
we're
I
all
just
trashing
went,
it. And like we got like 10 minutes into the conversation, Chris hadn't said a word, and we were like, "Oh, Chris, you liked it though." He's like, "What did you like about it?" He goes, "I don't remember."
Yeah, that was absolutely tragic, to be honest. Never seen a quicker portrayal of a film than Chris sitting there going, I don't actually know what I like about it anymore.
This is trash. 2 Collins out of 10. Don't watch it.
Ouch.
Everyone is wrong about this great movie.
I don't really know how to feel about this because I actually didn't hate it. It was just if I'm taking it at face value, it's a stupid, goofy,
It's a
kind
goofy
of funny,
movie.
kind of awful. But I also kind of like kind of awful films because I kind of like to laugh at them and I kind of get the enjoyment out of it. And the soundtrack is good. The actors are good, but they're not good in this. I'm just going to give it 6 Collins. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Now, this is tough.
Just say it as it comes through. Just say it as it flows.
It just made me really sad. I wanted to like it. I came here being like, oh yeah, finally, I'm going to watch this film. I'm going to watch Love Actually. You know, everyone's been telling me to watch it for years. I should watch it. But no, it was sad. It made me just think, why am I here? But like,
And then you never came back.
I also love how this is like the main
actually true, I never
adjective.
came back.
So traumatized from Love
No,
Actually.
it was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Darcy. I like the soundtrack. The soundtrack alone was very good.
That's it. That's the only note of this.
I thought that there was, and if Hugh Grant had danced for longer, then maybe maybe I would consider giving
That
it
is
a bit
true.
more.
That would have saved it. I
That
think.
would have saved it, but I think I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna say one. One. Colin, is it? Colin.
I was expecting at least a
out of
2
10
there. To be
Collins. I nearly gave it a 2, and then you know what? No.
Do you know what? No,
Forget
it.
honestly, it's fun. That's what we're here for. We're here for the subjective discussions. We love a little bit of diversity here in our film watching.
Okay.
Okay. We're
Alright.
going on to me now.
Yeah,
Going on
what
to
was your
you.
movie?
Right, so I picked It's a Wonderful Life by Frank Capra. It's a 1946 film, and it's kind of loosely based on A Christmas Carol in some ways. And the film stars James Stewart as George Bailey, who's a man who's given up his personal dreams in order to help others in his community. But he kind of gets a bit sad and contemplates suicide, which he contemplates this on Christmas Eve. And that's the Christmas part for you.
I like how you said gets a
We've got
bit
it in there.
sad. It's just a bit sad.
Just a bit sad. He's thinking about jumping off a bridge, and there's this kind of like intervention that happens with a guardian angel. And what the guardian angel does is he shows George how his life has touched the lives of others, and how different it all would be if he didn't exist.
Yeah.
Lovely.
This film was fucking great in every way. It was actually my favourite of the night, and I say the night, but this actually happened over 2 nights because our films were so fucking long.
This is the best Christmas movie ever.
Yeah, I actually, do you know what? I'm not going to lie. The second someone said It's a Wonderful Life, I heard that it was a really long film. It's actually not as long
It's
as I
not
thought.
that
Right?
long.
2 hours.
But
Yeah, 2 hours.
the second someone says, "Oh, I want you to watch a black and white movie from like the 1940s," I go, "Oh, fucking hell."
Why have
but-
you done this to me?
I was proven happily wrong. I actually love this. I actually think I would watch this every Christmas.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. It's going to be the new thing. Thanks.
Yeah, I watched a couple
Yeah.
of Christmases ago, and I wanted to make it a tradition, but I completely forgot to watch it last year.
Well,
Yeah.
now you can
Yeah.
make it a tradition. We can start it. I loved this. It was
Yeah,
great.
it's a really
yeah.
great movie.
It's very wholesome in a weird kind of way. If you think about it, it's, I feel like suicide isn't the most like wholesome subject, but it had purpose to it. I liked it. It was like a hug,
Warms your heart.
Yeah.
Very wholesome, but like a lot of it I felt was super dour.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
yeah, we were like,
every
this is
turn,
fucking depressing.
He's being like slapped in the face by something or other. Oh, I feel so bad for this dude.
Mm.
I really love James Stewart. I think he's a fantastic
He
actor.
is
Yeah.
great.
This might be his best performance.
I'd agree. He is incredible in this movie.
I
I love the character of George Bailey. I think he's just like such a really well written character. Like going into the movie, I was worried that they were going to make him like this really, because he's meant to be like a really great guy that everyone loves. And I was worried that he'd almost come off like cartoony, like a fake sort of character. But he is a very real character. Like in the way he's written and portrayed, he does feel like a real person with like his upsides and his downsides as well. He's not a perfect person, and I think the film does a great job of portraying that.
He's a perfect college teen, you know? He looks about 35 years old. A college graduate.
Oh my god, when he came back and said he was a college graduate, I was like,
What?
no, you
No,
are
you're
bloody
not.
not. You were like 20 years older than the average college student. I was so angry. That was probably one of the only gripes I had with this film, was that the age, sort of like the things they were trying to like give off as this character was supposed to be like a certain age and things. It was just off, just don't. But other than that, I actually don't really have a single thing that I didn't really like about this film, to be honest.
I have like one minor gripe. It's like sometimes it'll linger on a shot and then it will cut to that exact same shot, but like the characters will be in a different position. But it'll be,
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
the same time. That's it. That's like my only gripe.
Minor.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm pleasantly surprised there. I thought for a second like maybe everyone was just going to really
hate
Go
it.
really
for
hate
it,
on it, yeah.
hate on it.
No,
No.
do you know what? To be honest, I actually expected to hate it. Like when it first started, I went, okay, and then like the longer it went on, the more I was like, I actually really like this film. I think it was just one of those where I kind of. It was also the last film of the night, and let's be honest, I do tend to start dreading the last film because I'm like, I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like we were all literally just sitting there
We,
going,
like,
we want to go to
like,
bed. We
got
don't
to
even
the
want to
end
watch it.
because we watched Carol, and then we watched this, and when we got to the end of Carol, we like sat there with "It's a Wonderful Life" paused on the screen. I just couldn't click play.
Yeah, we were just
Yeah.
sitting there for a couple
So it was
minutes,
like
just
already
thinking,
like
Do we
half
do
8,
this?
9ish
Yeah.
or something, wasn't it?
So tired.
yeah, the film didn't end till like midnight, and we were like, fucking hell.
I really love this film. It's like just like it's my favorite Christmas film. That's why I recommended it. And I really love like the realness of the characters. I also really loved George and Mary's love, and the kind of just like it's just that sweet sort of passion between them, and the whole scene where they come back from the party, like after they were like at this party, and then this guy gets jealous because George is with Mary, so they open the swimming pool and like they all fall into the water, and then they come back from that and they see this sort of old house that is like abandoned, and they make a wish on the house, and I just love the whole like George lassos the moon, and like the moonbeams. He wants to give Mary the moon, and it's just really nice.
Yeah, they're very like they're almost kind of you kind of root for them, don't you? They're like almost like relatable in a weird kind of way. Like you almost believe that they're together. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean. Like in terms of the film, obviously,
Yeah,
like, obviously they are together in the
great
film.
chemistry between them.
Yeah, that's see words.
Yeah, it's like permeated throughout the entire movie. Is like this theme of loving each other, and like at the end of the day, you know, money it disintegrates into dust, but like what remains is like the bonds we share with other people. We got like the character of Potter, who's like this old codgery dude who like owns everything. He's like a millionaire. He owns everything, and I guess he's like the central villain of the movie. We're like, maybe he could come off as like a bit cartoony, but he is just like a classic bad guy. You know, these weird, crazy eyebrows that just like follow you around the room. And there's like a part where George loses like 8K, which is not a lot to Potter because he's just rich beyond belief. But like this is like everything, and it could like destroy George's entire life. I think there's a lot to do with that, just George trying to make other people's lives better, and like I think the theme of like not like he's not supposed to kill himself because like look at all the lives he's touched, and like this is like a life can mean so much to like just everyone, and like you take that away and like so much changes.
See, I guess now the only thing that I can think of is that this is the scenario that they talk about if he had never been born. But if he kills himself, he was born and he just killed himself. So why didn't they show what his life would have, not his life, what their lives would have been like if he had killed himself instead? Because I feel like that makes more sense.
He asked. He said, "Oh, I wish I'd never existed."
Yeah.
You're like,
All right. I mean, okay, fair enough.
So that's why it shows them.
But I think like it would have just. I guess what the film shows is like the strength of community, and like how when you actually think for like the people and the people that you love and your friends, and instead of like that top dog kind of reach for the institution kind of thing, it shows up like what you can actually create when you work in that way. And I really liked the whole bit where when the bank was going to close and all the people kind of came in wanting to get their money from the bank, and like how actually when we get swept up in those systems, we lose out because we're like fearful, and we want our money, we want to take this. And actually, if you sit and make a solution with each other, you can see like how much you can change.
It's because I guess people in power can exploit fear, which is quite relevant actually in today's stuff. But it's true. It's because people were was it when that guy was like, "Oh, I'd rather get 50 cents on the dollar and then have nothing at all."
Yeah,
but why?
Why?
What? Why? I kind of understand it, because obviously because if you're thinking that you're going to lose out all on your money, you'd rather have some money than no money.
It's the system we live in.
Exactly. Yeah, this is what I mean.
It's relatable today.
Yeah.
Exactly. It really is.
It really is.
Like, the people capitalise on other people's fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fear mongers.
Yeah.
And like keeping people sad, I guess.
Yeah, keeping people poor as well, let's be honest. The richer get richer off of other people's misery.
If you can make the lower classes battle amongst themselves, they stop thinking about who they're actually supposed to be against.
Yeah.
No.
It's almost as if people, when they get wrapped up in stuff, they completely forget that there's this higher thing that they can take down if everyone was like to club together rather than battling like every man for himself kind of thing.
Yeah, we have the power. We have the solution.
We are richer together.
Yeah.
Well, there's that great quote. What is it like? No man is a failure who has friends.
Yeah.
And, it was like that. The whole third act, I was crying my eyes out. I was so sad the entire time. And then like all this great stuff happens to him, just right at the end, and all these people come together to like stop him from like essentially killing himself. That's what it boils down to. Not only is it like he loses his business and he goes bankrupt and his family starve, but like he's just in such a low place himself, and it shows that people can pick you up if you have that network.
Yeah, because that's like what he does throughout the whole movie. He's the person who's there for the people who need it, and it just kind of shows that if you're there for people, if you put them before you when they really need it, then they'll just return the favour when you need it.
I feel like that shows a lot more about, like, I feel like mankind is like inherently, if you scratch your back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. I can't explain it. Like, I feel like we all know community and like peace if we actually work together on it, as opposed to like hating each other. Yeah, like I think people are inherently good, but there's systems exactly that make them bad. Or it's not even like, as much as I hate like all the corporate greed and things, part of me does kind of understand it, because it's also like up to us to maintain our own survival by any means, but also why couldn't we just work together on that rather than, you know, it's a bit like those experiments where people are like, oh, here's a plate full of croissants, everyone can have one if we all share, but then people will take two because they have the fear of things running out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the old toilet roll.
Yeah, toilet roll.
Yeah. There we go, yeah. See, take what you need, not what you want.
It's also like Potter being an allegory for like capitalism. And, like the elite rich. They could do so much to help people.
But they just don't.
Of course they don't, because that's how they stay rich, and like that's...
Exactly.
I think they just lose their humanity.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's how the rich stay rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And like the poor uncle that lost the $8,000, like he went kind of crazy because you know. You would.
That's the thing, though. You would, though, because I think we looked up, like, in today's money, that's like 30 grand.
Yeah, it was like
that's a lot of money to lose out on. And that guy's just like watching him, just like, and that's the thing, though. Like, people can be cruel for like no particular reason. Like, that man could have just easily have given back his 8K, just didn't.
No.
What's 8K to him? It's like shitting in a bush. Yeah, literally. What's the point?
These troubles, like, you know, money troubles can feel so isolating when you're going through it alone.
Yeah.
Especially as regards money. You see people nowadays going through these same struggles. And I think it hits harder now with like the pandemic going on. Where, like, people are out of work and like they're actually really struggling just to fight for their lives.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still happening.
Yeah, that's the sad part, is that, and there's only so much you can do as a community to fight that kind of thing, because obviously, like, you may be like wealthy in terms of like your emotional supports and things, but if I don't have money and he doesn't have money and he doesn't have money and she doesn't have money, we can't solve the problems
I
that we
think
need to be
that's
solving.
one of the things about this film that makes it so timeless is that just people never change and these systems never change.
Yeah.
So the film's always going to be relevant because of that, I think.
Well, they keep making media about it. That's why everybody still relates to 1984.
Yeah.
It's like we're living in dystopian horror.
It actually is. Like, it just feels like it's getting worse as well. And it's just one of those things where it's kind of like scary.
And once he becomes poor, people start being ruder to him. People start being meaner to him. Because you do see, like,
that does
people
happen.
do talk down
Yeah.
to like the lower classes, people who are poorer. Like, you feel like they feel like they have some sort of monopoly on them, or like they're better. You're better than
like,
someone else just because you have more money.
Yeah, they have like no societal value whatsoever. They're just scum, which is really sad.
Like, you can just like shirk respect altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as if like money is the biggest talking currency, I suppose.
But
If you've got money, you've got person.
They
Well,
have friends.
That is true. That's what they said, isn't it? George Bailey, the richest man in town. Literally, figuratively, and literally at that point, because didn't that guy give him loads of money to pay off his debt?
Well, the community like roped together and give like some money.
And then that guy from London was like, here, have a loan of up to 25 grand, which God knows how much that money would be now.
Yeah, we're
It
kind
was
of
like
looking at it on,
almost
like,
a million, wasn't it? I swear we.
Oh yeah, we looked up. Yeah, it's
Looked
like
up when,
800 grand or something. It's a lot of
When
money.
Potter was like, I'll offer you like this much money, it was like 20k a year. And I looked it up and was like, that's like nearly $1 million now.
Yeah, it was a year as well.
It would have been loads then.
The thing is,
Ludicrous.
how the fuck? Like, I've never understood, like, you know, when people have like millions and billions and trillions or whatever, like, you know, like Jeff Bezos and people like that, like, they could give away like 1% of their wealth and they could solve so many fucking problems in the world. And I know it's not up to them to do it because they've quote unquote earned their money.
No, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it.
They don't want to, but I feel like I'm going to say it right here, right now. If I ever, which I won't, if I ever become a billionaire or a trillionaire, I will happily donate enough money to try and solve some of these fucking problems. But I can't do it. I just can't do it because I don't have it.
These people have to be like horrendously rotten to their core. And, like,
It's sad, isn't it? It's so
you
sad.
have to break so many laws to do these things. And, like,
oh yeah, like it's all tax evasions and things like
you have
this.
to be like the lowest form of scum ever to actually accrue that much money.
Yeah.
So obviously they're not going to give it away.
I know, but I feel like if you've got, like, not being funny, but that's like what, like 1%, 5% of your wealth. I don't know how much it is, right? But you're not going to miss it. You're not even going to see it go. You're not even going to spend it before you die. This man is going to die with trillions probably because he's not going to spend it all, surely. Well, maybe he will. I don't know.
The system, that's what they want. They want us down there.
It just makes me so sick. It's just not right. It just doesn't make sense.
I know. I think that's why I do love this film, because like George as a character is just so certain of his values and he won't budge from them. He kind of keeps that even when he's offered like a, you know, work for Potter, an equivalent of like $1 million, you know, he thinks about it and then he's like, no, like I'm staying true to like who I am. And I think that's just like such a core like thing to take from it. And like, even so, it also highlights like even when you are so true to yourself, you're still going to face barriers. Like it's hard, and like I know what it feels like. And it's just that it shows you how like life can beat you a bit, but if you just kind of like take that moment to reflect, and like he was, you know, he saved the angel. That's why like the angel jumped in, right, to kind of show him his values again, and like actually. Yeah, you do want to look after people, and I think that's what I really like it, and I think that is where I think there is a way in which we can fight these systems. And it's just with, like we're so used to them. They are still here. That's why they want, no one's ever going to give that money out because they don't want us to have it. And yeah, I think there's a way, and I think it is just loving and like community and like finding happiness even in the darkest times. You it's a strength, and like both of those things are strengths.
Yeah, like I always say, guys.
Is that what you always say? It's actually his catchphrase. He says it all the time.
I always say, love is all we have, because that's it. That's all we have.
It is.
Well,
all we have is each other. All we have is people,
that is true. Yeah.
And like relationships that we build.
Yeah.
To the end of it all, it all turns to dust, and that's all we've only got, like connection to other people and community.
Yeah, because even if you have money, you're gonna be pretty fucking lonely, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like regardless of like,
just buy some friends.
Yeah, but then
it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same
as true friends,
Yeah, I feel like
they don't know that. if you've gone your entire life because you're an absolute arsehole, never having any friends, and then you buy friends, you're just like, this is what friends are.
Yeah.
Or like you watch, like you buy the box set of Friends and you just watch that.
No.
I like The Crow.
The Crow?
The Crow.
The old building and loans place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then and the squirrel.
Yeah, the squirrel was just there.
I love the little squirrel. Just showed up.
They should all have.
I was what?
That would really liven up these buildings. You go into them. You just a crow there.
Just a squirrel and
just
a crow.
Have a squirrel there.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Why not? I was like, what? Nobody's like. I was like taken aback. I was like, is there supposed to be a crow there? Like, nobody's like looking at it. It's just like hopping around. I like that crow though.
Yeah, it's a cute crow.
Maybe the crow's a dibby. Is it a dibby?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I like their like how they get the house, but it's like if you're not gonna die of like suicide, probably die of the damp. Right.
Yeah.
To be fair,
It's fucking pouring in there. Or they just move straight in. It's like, okay.
To be fair though, in this economy, that house actually is a dream. We could just renovate it. That is. We laugh, but we could never.
Yeah, it's a good house. Oh, it made me cry at the end. It makes me cry every time.
Made me cry. It was floods. The absolute floods.
I don't even notice you crying, to be honest.
It was like transfixed with it.
I was also sitting on the floor, so I was just like, I was having a great
time.
time.
That kind of movie. It is because it was
great.
Like, universally relatable.
Yeah.
I love the bit as well when like he decides to live and not die and exist, I guess. When he kind of like comes running through the street, just sort of like just saying like a happy Christmas to everyone, and it's just so like and how when you like give that love out, actually you can just sort of fight it because you brush past like the rent collector people and the police that wanted to arrest him. It's just like loving his wife, loving his. If you just
avoid
go with
law.
that, that energy like guides you. I like it.
I guess it's kind of like it's all about the little things as well. Like he's walking past and he's like literally saying "Merry Christmas" to this shop that's here, "Merry Christmas" to this other thing that's here, and it's just like, like imagine if I got really homesick and like got back to Luton and went, "Oh, Merry Christmas, the mall." Like,
Merry Christmas, Luton.
But it is, it's like
that kind of thing.
It's like the sentimental things in life, isn't it? And it's like loving those and
I guess sometimes you get caught up in like the monotony and stuff that you kind of go, oh, sometimes I do really love this like apple tree that's outside in the garden, that kind of shit.
Yeah, and a lot of like the places he's like talking about are like small independent businesses that when he like was shown what it would be like if he wasn't alive, weren't there. They were owned by Potter. They were like
Pottersville.
Yeah, they were like these like consumerist, like capitalist buildings that are owned by a big corporation rather than this small little independent place.
I guess it also does that thing where it's like big corporations equal evil, independent business equals hard work and love. But then I don't completely agree with that. But
that's like capitalism as an ideal. Right?
Yeah.
We equate like capitalism isn't inherently evil, but like how we see it now, it's been warped into this like late stage where like it is kind of what we equate it to, like Jeff Bezos ruling the world.
Yeah, I think it's because I don't think big companies are inherently evil, because they obviously all started small and then grew up. But there is a lot of power that they hold that they shouldn't have, I think, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of the time, these companies shouldn't have as much power or money as they do, but then at the same time, they all probably started in, like, someone's kitchen or something. So, I don't know. I'm in two minds about that kind of thing, but inherently, not a big fan of corporate stuff.
But Chris found this god-awful article.
Oh, God, that article sucks.
And it's called 6 Things About It's a Wonderful Life That Have Aged Poorly.
I think this is really going to upset Lara, to be honest. Because it's a really shit article.
I don't want to hear it.
The town keeps the money a secret. George Bailey is shown to be a mostly selfless man toward the town. However, when he is in danger of losing the building and loan, in his eyes, the town does nothing to help, and only waits until the end to give him the money. It's like,
that's the thing is, what are they gonna do? What the fuck?
This is narrative. This is a film. It's like they're
That's how
saying,
it's
like,
meant to
yeah, if this were
happen.
real life,
Is this all they
wouldn't
could
have
dig
happened.
out?
Yeah, if this were real life, a fucking ghost wouldn't have shown him what his life would have been like if he never existed.
Literally.
To be fair, it was like that all only happened in a day anyway, so it probably took a while to travel through the town.
Yeah, and we're not all like in the age of social media or
No.
anything. Like, we can't just contact someone in like a blink of a second. You'd have to ring up every single person in the town to ask if they had money, and then they had to walk all the way over to give them the money. I don't like that article. I don't like it at all, Max.
Is another one. Go wild there. George is kind of mean.
What? Yeah, I know.
George is played to be a selfless man who only wants to live life, but admittedly, some of his actions are questionable. The most obvious example is when he blows up at his family. It's fully understandable and even relatable why it happened, but George could have gone about it better.
Right, the man's on the brink of a suicidal break. What the fuck did you expect him to do?
Give him a break here. I mean, he wasn't even that bad.
No,
he just yelled at someone.
Yeah.
Oh no, he shouted. That is cancel culture 2021 right there. Cancel him because he yelled.
No,
he's
allowed to be upset.
Everyone's
Literally.
celebrating Christmas, like he's on the brink of financial crisis.
Literally, this man is like, he's been nothing but good the whole film, and then he does one little thing and he's Satan. What the fuck?
Another example is when he refuses to give Mary her clothes back. Sure, this could be seen as harmless flirting, but Mary was left hiding in a bush without clothes, while George just laughed it all away.
Right, Max, that article's making me very, very angry, very heated. I'm very pressed right now.
I'm not okay with this article.
Oh
Who
my God,
wrote
this
it?
one? Who fucking wrote this? Donnie Smith Jr. Oh, I see you.
What a name.
Came out like last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
I think it was like revised, because originally it was like 7 things, and now they've like redone it
I
and
thought it
taken
was
one out.
7. That's
Everyone's
weird.
favourite movie is problematic. It's like, here's another one. Mr. Potter isn't evil. He's certainly unlikable and despicable. The movie portrays him as a heartless cold man. While this may be the case, he's not inherently evil. He cares only for himself and his money, but at the end of the day, he is helping the town, regardless of ulterior motives.
How is he helping the
What are you
town?
talking about?
Is there an example of how he helps? What, he keeps them in housing because he owns houses? I'm confused.
He doesn't say anything.
No, there's no... no, okay, and then whoever wrote this article, I would like you to comment.
He provides
An
housing.
example, please.
I'm not saying all landlords are good because they provided shelter. Great.
What the fuck?
George is willing to leave his family with nothing. He's suicidal. Honestly, I'm not going to read this. It's bullshit.
What? I'm
Thanks,
no,
Donnie.
not okay with that.
No.
People like that who shouldn't be allowed to be journalists.
They put a mark on the journalist's name.
It's like whoever it is trying to find faults within it,
Yeah.
but that's all they can do.
It's a bit nitpicky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not even solid.
I also feel like in today's society, I feel like that last point was a little bit like insensitive. Like, I'm not doing the whole like, oh, counts, blah, blah, blah. But like at the same time, like, come on, did you watch the film? Did you fucking watch it? I don't think they watched it.
No.
I actually think you need to go back and watch the film again. Reevaluate that.
It's the best film ever.
It's a really great fucking film. I'm surprised I never watched it. Actually, no, I'm not surprised I never watched it before because I know me. And I wouldn't have watched it unless someone had recommended it.
Mm.
And there we go. It's been recommended.
I know, happy days.
We're all the better for it.
Yay.
You'll see the horrendous parallels to our own lives. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't need that though. That was something I could have done without.
I think that, but like, there's those parallels, but that it kind of made me feel better,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It gives you a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But then at the same
gives you
time,
hope.
not really, because it's a system that will never change, and that makes me depressed.
No, we're going to change it. I'm going to change it.
You yourself. You heard it here first.
On that part at the beginning where he like rushes in, he's like a kid. He rushes into like the place. He like puts the thing down on the thing and he goes, "I wish I had $1 million. Hot dog."
Oh my god, when he does the hot dog bit, oh my god, that actually was the funniest thing I've seen in ages.
Darcy was cackling. Like, oh, hot dog.
It's because I thought of the hot dog song from Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse.
Oh.
Not where I thought you were going to go with that.
Hot dog,
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Yeah, that one.
I know it.
Well, what did you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, to be fair, it wasn't. This is just what
It's
my
funny,
mind
isn't
does.
it?
My mind jumps from one thing that associates with something to another thing that is irrelevant as fuck. So I just kept singing the hot dog song in my head, and that's why I was laughing so much.
Go on to ratings.
Sure.
Yeah.
What are we going to do it out of?
Me?
Yeah, what are we going to do it out of?
Oh, moons.
Moons.
Yeah,
Lasso the
this is a
Moon.
classic. It's always like hard watching these like really like revered movies because you're like, always worried that they're not going to hold up or that they won't be like quite as great as people say they are. But I feel like this film just really is like it holds up incredibly well. It's still like a really, really great movie. I think it is a masterpiece. I give it 10 moons out of 10.
Yeah, it's going to be a tradition for Christmas, I think. This is like the first time I've watched it. It's really, when you say like, oh, what's a classic movie? You think of like all these classic movies that sometimes just whatever. Like The Godfather, like who cares? But this was actually fucking brilliant, and it's a classic for a reason, I feel. And I cried and I laughed and just had a fantastic time. And no man is a failure who has friends. So I'll give it 10 moves out of 10.
Yeah.
I can see why it's a classic. It is amazing, and I will start the tradition of watching it every Christmas. 9 moons out of 10.
Nice. It is a lovely movie. It is one of my faves, one of my fave Christmas movies, and yeah, I love watching it every year. And I'm going to keep watching it every year. And I'm glad that all of you really like it. And I think it's a relevant film, I think. And also I think people, you look at it and you think, oh, I've heard about that. It's just, probably typical Christmas movie. But actually, there's something in it. It's something big. And I resonate a lot with it. It gives me hope. And it just makes me happy. It makes me cry. And it warms my heart. And yeah, I am going to give it 10 moons out of 10.
Lovely.
Hell
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the recommendation and for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, anytime.
Been great.
Anytime. I know this wasn't like you wanted to do like the Bring It On ones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
I was thinking about. Yeah,
I'm still lost
Couldn't do
about
it.
that, by the
Yeah.
way. I don't understand that.
Maybe another time.
That you know who you have to bring on for that one? Harriet. Shout out to
Oh, yeah.
Harriet, because She would
We'll
love
get her on
that.
then.
When we listen to this back, we will consider it.
Awesome. That's that. That's that for the year. For 2021, we're going to take
Whoa.
the break because we're tired. We want to spend Christmas doing Christmas stuff, but not watching a bunch of movies that are probably going to be shit. So we're going to come back on the 9th of January for I think it's going to be a year in review.
Yeah.
We'll
Nice.
just review the year. What was great, what was bad, what movies were awesome, what films and were bad, and all the shows that we watched, I think. If we can do that.
Mm.
Nice. So that's gonna
Hopefully we'll be able to do it in person as well.
Yeah, if you know, we're
Let's
not
be
under any
honest. Rip.
restrictions. That's going to be an easy one to do, like over Zoom, though, if we have
Yeah.
to, if we absolutely have to. That's that then. Episode 65, which is in 5 episodes' time. You got Oz season 1 to watch. That's on Now TV if you're in the UK, or wherever if you're wherever. Social media. YouTube, The Sunday Movie Marathon, Twitter, @SundayMoviePod, Facebook, @SundayMovieMarathon, and Letterboxd @SundayMM, capital S, capital MM. Thank you for listening. This is Christmas time episode. Great. Any last words?
Merry Christmas.
Have a good time.
Happy Christmas. Have a wonderful life.
Have a wonderful
Have
life.
a wonderful life. It is a wonderful life.
But like, you know, live it.
Live it.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love.
Okay.
I actually hate myself for that.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.